Tasman Bricks, an awesome AFOL from down under who hosts his own show, Taz Gets to Know, where he interviews other members of the Lego Hood, so we get to know. He's also one half of the Stud and the Dud. The Stud or the Dud? This was not a paid advertisement for the Cali Brick Clique, but I wanted to give Tasman a shout out because we're mates.
Awesome.
No. You don't do it?
I can do it. I'll do it. You'll do it next week. All right. In 5, 4, 3. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Cali Brick Clique, episode number 39. Wow. The year's almost over. We're almost at 52. And before we get into the introductions with everyone here, remember you can find this episode and all previous episodes on all streaming platforms. Podcast platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, blah, blah, blah. And like always, we have Claire, the plastic architect.
Hello, hello.
We have Ninja with the bricks.
Yay.
And joining us this week, we have Richard from BrickScene. How's it going, bro?
I'm good, man. How's it going?
Yeah, thank you for joining us this week.
Oh, I appreciate it. I'm honored.
Now, just to be clear, that in case no one knows, you are in New Zealand, not Australia.
I'm definitely 100% in New Zealand. No dangerous insects here, I can assure you.
Not only that, there's no chaos.
No chaos. We're all locked down for a start, so there's definitely no chaos.
Yeah, Australia was in chaos. Oh, it was locked down too, and then it still erupted.
Right, they got people protesting while there's earthquakes going on down there.
Didn't something explode? Like I read somewhere that like a power plant like blew up or something.
Really? I haven't read that. I just heard yesterday the earthquake. Yeah, it was.
Imagine though your power like being blown up just out of nowhere. And you can't do anything about it.
No.
And you're stuck indoors.
And you're stuck indoors.
Yes.
And it's cold there right now, right?
I mean,
it's starting to get warm again.
Starting to get warm. Okay.
Yeah, and it doesn't like the cold there is like.
Yeah, it's still 18 Celsius. You know, at the moment. I can't tell
what is that converted to? I'm just kidding.
I can't do the transfer. I can't.
What is that convert to? All right. So, how's everyone doing this past week?
Good. I just got back from LA. It was wonderful seeing the two of you for a hot second on Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so fun. It's so crazy. It just feels like a regular thing now. You know, it's the second time this year.
Right.
So fun. It's just I know I love we transitioned from talking about being in lockdown and COVID to doing.
And we're out, right?
Yeah,
don't care again. Free. Kind of over it.
Yeah.
Whether you care or you don't.
We value life in a different way here, but
when I was leaving downtown, someone had they had the Falcon. I just seen him with the big box. I just wanted to put
walk it out. Oh man, that's cool to see. Yeah, that store was really cool. That was my first time going to the downtown Disney Lego store, which I felt like the pab wall was a bit disappointing. I don't know.
Oh, it was hardcore disappointing. It was horrible.
Yeah. But it's
I feel like they're probably out of inventory at this point, looking at the way it looks.
Yeah, I feel like Europe has been getting some great stuff, which makes sense, just proximity and stuff like that.
So you pab walls all open again that you guys can just go and get your hands in there.
Oh yeah, we were able to. We can put our hands in it and stuff now. Yeah.
No one cares.
That feels so crazy that
it's weird.
It's an odd feeling when you come out of it, eh? It's an odd feeling.
It is.
I've never liked doing stuff like that in general, and so now I feel like the rest of the world just feels like I do usually. You know what I mean?
Welcome to my world. No.
Exactly. I'm like.
Well, I also Disneyland is in Orange County, and they've always been very loose about those rules. So I expected it to be very who cares
not really
type of atmosphere in downtown Disney. But no one was wearing a mask, literally.
Oh.
Yeah, outside. No, inside everybody was wearing masks.
Oh yeah, it's mandated.
Yeah,
but
I wore a mask.
You were good. You were wearing a mask.
I felt very confused though. I was like, should I take this off?
No, you should have done whatever you wanted to do. I hope you didn't feel pressure. But Yeah, no, it was really great. Josh came in from Austin, which was like so much fun, and like we picked up Michael from like Central California on the way down, and so it was just like it was a lot of fun, and it was like so don't get me wrong, like I loved going to Brick Fair, which was like this massive thing, but almost like I kind of like prefer these like smaller groups, you know. It's just
A little bit more intimate.
yeah, it's more intimate. It was really
Right.
nice. And then we did Disney, which, you know, is very sentimental to me. I love Disney, so that was like a ton of fun. But yeah, I don't know. It's like seeing your friends. It was like, okay, so like the second time we saw Ryan, which was like, or at least I saw Ryan, was like at Brick Fair, and it just like feels, you know, the second time you always meet up with a group of friends, it almost feels like more natural too. And this was like kind of the same
There's no
thing.
barriers.
Yeah, it was really great, and yeah, we had a great time, and it was a very like 24-hour thing, you know what I mean? It's like we drove down there, we drove like 4 hours, and then woke up the next morning, drove another 4 hours. My AC broke halfway down in the middle of LA heat. It was
LA
like
traffic heat. Oh,
yeah, it was so hot. We had to have the windows rolled down on the freeway for us to like be. We were soaking sweaty by the time we got to these two, and then like we were in stop and go traffic. So when we would stop, we had like the sun beating down on us. So you know, it's time for me to get a new car. I'm literally waiting for car prices to go down, so I'm not being lazy. And then yeah, and then we like did Legoland, which was like a huge flop. Like the llama, as expected.
Okay,
was
how was that?
Yeah.
How was that?
Don't stop there. I need to hear about that.
Right. We need
So it was
details.
really fun. So we got into the park, and like a bunch of us just like wanted to go see stuff, and then like Sans was like heads down mission. We are here for llama and llama only. And so almost everybody had purchased like the beat box, like the llama box, and had it like ready to sign, or like some part of it to sign, except for me. I like didn't care. But it's fun to like have everyone had like a piece. Like Josh had like, you know, the back part of like the beat boxes, you know, the like the back panel that like the figs sit in front of.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then JB had like 2 of the the llama beat boxes. And then same with Sans, he had one of those to sign. And I don't even know what Michael had to sign. I don't even know. I think he had the same thing. And anyway, we go in there, and we happen to like get into like the little like the show area where he was going to perform, or where they were going to perform. And I'm like filming, and they're like, excuse me, llama's behind you. And so the llama like comes up like right behind me, and it's like llama and like their 4 dancers. And it took a while to realize, because the costumes of the dancers were so bad, but they were supposed to mimic like the other bandmates. And it was as though like they were like, here's like $8, like go figure out like costumes on your own. And obviously like they had taken like the llama head and like the banners and the stuff that had come with llama, and like shipped it from each Legoland and each weekend that they had it at, and it was probably like a different crew. But like basically we like get in there and we sit down, and the people go behind, and the second they get behind there's this huge waft of pot that like comes over the whole crowd, and they're definitely just, like, yeah, they're definitely just like getting high back there. And then the MC comes out, and then it's basically the majority of the time it's
you weren't kidding. You're legitimately saying
Hey,
marijuana smoke.
you see those Lego plant elements? Come on,
They're getting into those leaf elements, aren't they?
You guys, yeah, like when I tell you exactly like what happened, you'd be like, oh, of course this like kid was doing that. You know what I mean? And so like basically like, so the whole time there's the MC, it's like this one guy like who's like just like trying to hype people up for video. And then there's these dancers, and the dancers like do things over and over again, play the same music over and over again. And they're like trying to teach like the crowd the dances. So we all dance with the llama. So conceptually, it was like a cool thing where like, it's like a public thing where you're trying to get kids and families to dance together publicly, like not shamefully, you know, which is like conceptually is a great thing. Right. But then what it turned out being, and then llama comes out at the end at like, just for like a couple songs, and is like fake DJing. Like not even like, because it's like this dude, it's just a dude with like a llama head going like this and pretending to DJ, while the front of house booth is just playing a track. It's not even DJ. There's a lighting guy, and there's a track, and that has all the pre-recorded stuff, and that's it. That's it.
Were you expecting Llama to be like this full-on artist? Or
Oh no, I was not. This is
I want to know what the expectations were.
No,
here,
so I don't know what anybody's expectations were, but they were all low. But but it gets even worse. Anyway, so they finally get off, and then at the beginning they like hand out these lanyards, and on the lanyards there's like a little thing on the back that has like an area for you to get llama or to get their autographs. So we're like, oh, cool. They're probably going to have an autograph thing afterwards. The whole thing was just to get his signature, just as like a joke. It was like all a joke and all ridiculous. Anyway, the crew, like the cast or whatever, like ends up leaving at the end, and we like tried to bombard them to get signatures, and only a couple people were able to get signatures, and Sam's didn't get one.
Dang.
And he had to buy it off of JB. JB made him buy one of his llama boxes.
Dang, Llama said, I gotta go.
Forgive JB for that. Who does that? Who does that?
Hey, that was limited edition, right?
Extremely limited edition.
He was like, I promised it to somebody else. I was like, you've got to
Dang.
get out of here.
Wow.
Anyway.
Llama said, I gotta go. The plug just left. I can't chill here no more.
So we were thinking, we're like, oh, maybe they're like not allowed to do it because you know how Lego's like weird about certain stuff, and there was obviously some like miscommunication between like Lego or whoever was producing those things, because like the team was like, oh yeah, we don't do signatures. It's like, but the things have a spot for you to get your thing signed, and so they weren't ready for it. It was just like a disorganized mess, and the costumes were disgusting, and it was just like, it was gross. It was like someone like dug through like the gross pile at Goodwill for the costumes that they were wearing. It was weird. It was gross. And the dancers were like I could have done a better jop. It was weird. It was very weird.
So it's not really added to the entire video experience then, no? Not really enhanced it in any way, is it?
It's just it's just like you realize that like, oh, okay, the Legoland park is a completely separate entity from Lego. They really removed themselves from it. They have nothing to do with it. If they really understood the quality of execution that was going on here, they'd probably disengage entirely. And they probably can't because they have some kind of contractual agreement with Legoland. But it is not anywhere near like the caliber of work ethic that they have and the experience that they're trying to create at their stores. Like the store experience is better than Legoland experience.
Isn't Legoland like owned by a different company anyways?
Yeah, they sold it. Yeah.
Okay, yes.
I think they're in I don't know if it's just the UK or around Europe. They're buying them back, aren't they?
So there's a new one that just opened up in upstate New York. I'm curious to go see that. So it's like the thing with Lego is like, and just like with Disney and stuff like themes get outdated. Like they have a Chima themed water park. Like what? It's like weird Nexonites everywhere. Do you know what I mean? It's like this stuff needs to get updated. And granted, like Disneyland, there's still like Mr. Frog's Wild or Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, whatever it is. Like that ride has been there since 1955. But there's an entire group of people at Disneyland that have that nostalgia factor that doesn't exist with Legoland. You know?
Yeah, that's true. I feel that.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Like the Ninjago coaster.
Yeah.
Oh, I was just saying that one can fly because Ninjago put in work.
No, Lego bought back Legoland.
What'd you say?
Yeah, Lego bought back Legoland from Merlin.
Oh, I'm surprised. I'm surprised.
It'll probably take a while for them to go through and revamp them all, and
they should sell it to Disney. Because
that's what I'm jealous about, man. I saw you guys' pictures there at the Disney. Oh man,
yeah.
Hey, that
that's
Disney
just a dream for someone this far away from somewhere like that, you know.
But that's the thing. It's like, so it's going to Disney the next day was like very evident. Do you know what I mean? Just the different quality. Like I was expecting a park that was like a little crappier than like a Universal park, but this is like way, especially because the cost of entrance is
ridiculous.
High. Yeah. Like it's $90-something per adult to get in there. It's like $124 to go to Disney. We did the buy one get one, but you have to get like a double pack, so it was like $70-something. I was, that we were able to get it down to. But
for Disney or for
Legoland?
Oh, okay. I was like, damn, this
Disney goes down to $80 if you go as a California resident, if you go during the right time, and if you get a 3-day pass that you can use whenever. Anyway,
did you guys at least do that picture from Legoland, like where you get a picture in front of the Legoland sign?
The frame?
No, we didn't
frame?
do that. We didn't do that. We ended up like we went on like a couple rides and like walked around a lot and took a bunch of different photos and stuff, and it was fine. I mean, like we were there for
you see the Lego Movie 2 stuff? Is it still there?
Yeah, the Lego Movie 2 stuff is still there. That's definitely the best part, I think.
That's the newest part.
It's exactly new.
Yeah.
But like, so Sans doesn't have like the nostalgia to Disney that I do and stuff. And so like there were a couple rides that he would like, the dark rides and stuff, that he was like, this is awful. We also started
like Pirates?
Pirates, he was like, this is weird and cheesy, but I can kind of get it. He got Pirates, but like no, like the dark rides, like, you know, Snow White, Peter Pan, all those things.
Oh yeah.
Like, weird. And like, but we also started off the day, so he'd never been to Disneyland before and had been to Disney World like once. So we like woke up at 6:50, like, cause like Josh knows what he's doing when it comes to Disney. So like we woke up at like 7 or woke up at 6:50, signed up for Rise of the Resistance, which is so cool. It is like,
right? It's awesome.
The technology is unbelievable. And like, it's just, even if you don't even like Star Wars, it's cool. Like, yeah, it's just, the whole experience is incredible. They just did a really good job. You can see how far they've come. So basically we started out, we started, the first thing we did was Jungle Cruise, which is like one of my favorites. And they redid that one, by the way, which it's no longer like, it's way more woke now, a little bit. There's just no more like weird, there's just not woke, but like there's no more weird racist like Native Americans and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And so like, yeah. And then also Pirates of the Caribbean was updated ages ago, because, you know, like the woman like getting chased by the guy and like in circles, like that's not the case anymore. That's like, that's fine. But like, so we did Jungle Cruise first, then we did Indiana Jones, which no one had done except for me and Michael had done it, but like there's not one of those at Disney World, and Sans loves Indiana Jones, so that was like a ton of fun.
Did they enjoy that? At least did they enjoy
that? But like, you know how Indiana Jones like used to go and used to have like 3 different options, like 3 paths. So there's only one now. So
it's the long one, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's just the long one, and but it's good. It's still such a good ride. But then at the end, you know, when you see like when the big boulder is supposed to like roll down onto you, the light didn't turn on, so you couldn't see it about to come down. So you went under. I know.
Oh, that's like the best part.
I know, it didn't turn on, and so like a couple of those things happened, and then like Big Thunder Mountain Railroad was down, and so like it seemed like they were like, what is like Disneyland? Like you guys were talking of Disneyland, and what is this? Like to Sans, it was like he's like he didn't. But then so we did that, and then we did Rise of the Resistance. So like we did, and then Pirates. So we like stacked up some of like the best rides right at the front. And so I think, and then we, at the end of the day, we were doing like the weird ones, you know, that were like, that are just like weird nostalgic things. And so he was like, what is this? This is weird. Cause he doesn't have that. He doesn't have those memories as like a little kid doing like, you know.
You should see the pathetic excuse of a theme park we have here, man. Like literally,
you guys have a theme park?
We have one theme park, man, in Auckland. And like the highlight of the thing is this roller coaster that's done in like 15 seconds. That's it, man.
But is it fun in those 15 seconds?
It's called the
There's nothing like
screw. So you do go upside down and you do a little twisty thing, but it's all over and done with before you can even go, oh, that was cool. You know, like it's
Wait, so Richard, have you been to any of the Disney parks and stuff?
No.
Oh,
I've never been. I didn't even make it because I lived in the UK for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't even make it to any of the big
you didn't go to Euro Disney there or anything?
No, didn't even go to, you know, the Alton Towers and the British ones neither, you know, even just the theme parks, you know.
So we have theme parks here that are like scary. Like the roller coasters, like when you get to a certain age and your inner ear shifts, like you can't go on them anymore.
Six Flags.
Yeah, you're done. Like I'm done going on those rides. Like,
is that right?
Yeah.
But I guess you have to go on it to find out.
Yeah, exactly. You might have like, you know, whiplash for the next, you know, like 8 months.
Yeah, no. You'd probably only last like 2 roller coasters and that's it.
Yeah. Like, but as kids, like I used to go on those and over and over and over again. When you're like this little malleable thing with like all the collagen in the world and you're totally fine. And it's like
when your face stays where it's meant to.
Exactly. Yeah. Here, like you get off and you're like
Well, my
Culture shock.
little boy's 8 years old now, so he's nearly at that age where I can start, nearly at the age and nearly tall enough that I can start taking him to those
42 inches. You gotta, yeah, exactly.
measuring him, eh? But
Yeah.
we'll definitely be planning a trip through the States. That's
Yeah,
that's what
it's
we do
so
there.
fun. I can only imagine how fun it would be to take your kids when they're old enough to like appreciate like how much more fun that would be.
A real ride?
Mm-hmm.
No, not real,
Not
not
the kiddie
real.
rides and
No,
stuff.
take them to like like proper Disney. Like that's what I mean. I was just like thinking.
Oh,
about
that whole Star Wars thing and the Rise of the Resistance. Is that what's called Rise of the Resistance? I mean,
Rise of the
Well, it's two
Resistance.
rides. but yeah,
he's
one of them.
obviously grown up with the newer, the sequel movies.
Yeah.
So his
Oh, yeah,
favorite
he
is Kylo
definitely
Ren. His
appreciated it.
favorite is the First Order. So
He
Right.
no,
Well,
he would
yeah.
love it. Oh, and
Yeah,
then like
Galaxy's
there was
Edge
this
is
whole
the story, yeah.
show. There was this whole like Kylo Ren came out and like with the stormtroopers and they were like picking out people in the audience and like all of Galaxy's. It's so cool. They did Galaxy's Edge is incredible.
Did you guys see
Incredible.
R2 at least?
No,
You guys didn't see R2? R2D2 wasn't running around? Well, that
no,
sucks.
they were just stormtroopers and Kylo Ren,
Mm.
which was still really cool.
That whole land like makes up for the outdated everything.
Yeah, but I'm fine with
the
outdated
whole
stuff
park.
because like I grew up going to it, so it's like I love it. Like I'm like it's a small world. Let's do it twice. Like I love it.
I think they probably would have appreciated California Adventure then.
Oh,
Yes.
oh yeah, they definitely would. Yeah, yeah,
Because everything's new. Cars Land is amazing. Like
yeah. And then there's
literally
like
everything in that
new
park is brand new. I mean,
But
even
yeah.
the outdated stuff in that park is still relatively new.
No, yeah,
Technology-wise,
like the roller
ride-wise,
coasters and stuff. Yeah,
food.
And
what
and
you're
they just
looking at.
added the Marvel.
They
the
added the
Marvel
Marvel
campers.
part. So
We're probably gonna go back in like I'm thinking we're gonna come back in like a month or something. Because like my dad really wants to. My dad got all sorts of like jealous and butthurt. He wants to go ride Indiana Jones and Pirates and Haunted Mansion and like, and so we'll probably come for like a couple of days and do both
we
parks.
do a whole weekend.
Yeah, I think
A
so.
weekend with both
Like a
parks.
4-day thing, yeah, rather than like a
4 days. Wow.
well, maybe not 4 days, but like I don't know, just something
A
a
lot of
little
doing.
bit slower pace than what we did because we literally like did like Legoland. Then we woke up at 6 something the next day, got at the park at 8 o'clock, left the park at 12:30 at night, got in the car, drove to like Michael's house, like 3 hours away.
So you drove after the park closed to Michael's
I
house?
drove after standing for like 17 hours.
wow.
I figured you guys
Nice.
would stay one more night and drive the next day.
No, I mean Josh stayed, but like people had to get back to work. Like Michael had to get back to work.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and so
Okay.
and then we woke up after sleeping for like 3.5, 4 hours and drove back. It was also the only way to avoid traffic.
Damn. Yeah, it's good you didn't drive traffic through on a Monday morning. That would have been bad.
Yeah, we missed it entirely. But
Gotta experience Cali, LA traffic. on
That's
Monday.
one thing I can say. I have experienced LA traffic before, man. That's something else, isn't it?
it's definitely something else. Wait, so like I think we've all mentioned a little bit, but like January, we're gonna try to do Bricks LA. Tech told me that the UK has given the okay to go to the US if you've had both your shots. So I think even if Bricks LA doesn't happen, like the actual event itself, LA will happen.
Cool.
Right, LA's
There's
still
like-
there.
We got to get over to the UK as soon as it opens as well. The kids have got to see their grandparents. My partner's got to see her parents. So
Oh, that's
Yes.
right. You're a retro.
we either go
kind of.
via Singapore, or we go via LA. So
LA.
if it ties in, it ties in.
LA, yeah. And
that'll
then
be
you fly
sick.
back with tech.
Bro, it'll be sweet as. I'll definitely be doing it at some point. I gotta go to these theme parks, man.
It's
They're
really
fun. At least near. I mean, there's a lot here in California that you can
Yeah.
do just theme parks alone. You have Universal, you have Six Flags, Disney.
But then we also have like
zoos.
Yosemite and San Francisco and like
You can't go to
also
Yosemite right now; it's burning down.
it's burning, yeah. But there's like other stuff that's like really cool. Like there's like you go to Florida and yeah, they definitely like annihilate it with like the whole parks and stuff like
Oh,
that
yeah.
because it's like
They
it was
slap
built
everybody
for
more.
it. Yeah. But I don't know. I think in general California is a bit more fun to visit.
There's a lot of things you can
Please
do
come.
here. Hence
Mm.
why we all still live here.
Mhm.
The last time I was actually in LA, it was all about the music, man. I was going to places like the Roxy and
Mhm.
Rainbow.
Hey.
God damn, what was this?
That was a few years back, man.
Well, yeah. I mean, LA's opening up like significantly now, so
Mhm.
everything's kind of getting back to normal. I don't know. California just went through a whole like political thing.
Oh yeah, we're trying to kick our governor out.
Yeah, and that it didn't work, right? He's still yeah. Oh well, whatever.
It's
Screw
weird.
politics.
It's weird. Yeah.
Life rolls on.
Anyway, I think we had some brief idea of topics. One of which was, this hobby and kind of like what is it that like supports it. And I think a lot of people, it's like, a fun thing to do with their family. And then a lot of people have tried to like turn it into like a business, whether it's like, making YouTube content or even opening a Bricklink store. And I think a lot of us have talked about it. We've all kind of been like, oh yeah, it'd be cool to open a Bricklink store, but BrickScene actually did it. And it's 6 months in. And
yeah, just over 6 months now. Yeah. And it's something I decided to do. Look, I'll tell you, it was when we were locked down last year, because my business, I do background checks on people who are going for jobs with my clients, if you like. So one of my biggest client is in the airline industry. So as you can imagine, business dried up rather quickly over the last couple of years.
Oh.
And I work from home. All my clients hadn't disappeared. I had to stay at home. The kids were here as well, locked down. So I thought, what am I going to do, man? What am I going to do? What can I do? And it had been sitting in front of me this whole time. So I was like, right, I'm going to open the Bricklink store. So I invested some cash into it and just bought some brand new sets, parted them out. And that's how we started.
How's it going so far? 6 months in.
It's definitely not a massive money earner. I wouldn't be quitting my day job just yet and looking to pay.
Well, do you think it's because of where you're located?
It definitely could be. Most of my sales, 90% of my sales are local. They're not
okay.
And that'll be, people probably see postage from here as potentially being something expensive, so they would probably not include Oceania or Australasia, Asia, for a lot of their sales, especially on your side of the world or in Europe. But it ticks along, man. It ticks along, and it's $50 order here, this $80 order there. It's
Do you enjoy it though?
Yes, because I'm not crazy busy with it. There's a guy here who runs one of the biggest stores, and he battles with himself as to whether he wants to carry on or not. Because
interesting,
once you get up to that couple of million pieces in your store, he's doing orders throughout the day and into the night, and that's you may as well have a factory job then.
Does he do it? Does he have help? Does he have employees or by himself?
Nah, it's him and his partner, as far as I know. Yeah. But yeah, and it's a love-hate thing with him. I'm sure he loves it. He loves what he's doing, but he sees it as a massive challenge every day. But for me, do you know what I do? Actually, I get the kids to pick the orders, then I quality control them, man. That's how it works right there.
That's free labor.
That's
my boy loves it. He loves it. So.
Do you find it like hard to like keep your Lego for you and Lego for sale?
I was just thinking that adding to your own supply.
Yeah. I definitely don't tap into my own supply. No, but that's something I've talked about with people before. Is I only buy sets that I've already got to chuck into the Bricklink store.
Okay,
or stuff that I definitely won't collect. I won't go and buy something that I potentially want that I'm going to chuck in there because I want to build it, and I don't deal with secondhand parts neither. So everything's got to come straight out of the bag.
So everything's brand new.
Everything's brand new, man.
Okay.
I can't be bothered with that whole potential of having any complaints or
scratches.
That makes sense. So do you sell sets as a whole or just all parts?
No, parts, just parts. I something I have been thinking about dabbling into is like we all probably did when we started collecting Lego, like you ended up buying so much stuff you probably didn't even think you needed. So I've got a whole ton of sets there that I probably will never build again. So they may go into the store as secondhand sets to sell.
That's a good idea.
And keep that very much separate from the new Lego, the pieces, so.
Yeah, you could like put it in its own bag and stuff and just set it aside.
Absolutely.
That makes sense.
The big thing is sorting all the Lego and having this. Obviously like what you've got exactly behind you, Claire. I've got plenty of those sorts of drawers, and and you go, all right, I'm going to sort it by element, and then you go, okay, I've got too much of that now, so now I'm going to sort that element by color, all that sort of thing. And watching people like BrickScene, his videos on how he sorts his things like that, man. I've just been doing over the last 6 months, and plodding away at it, man. It's good fun. It's good fun.
I mean, one thing that's good though, whether it be YouTube, Bricklink, or Brickout, whatever, or like going to doing stuff for shows or events, it's like those passive incomes, I guess you would say, because they're not our main sources of income. Definitely help like fund our problem.
But they're not passive though, because it's like that's the problem. Is like I think a lot of people are like, oh, like it's still like opportunity cost, right?
That's true. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. But like passive would be like a property that's paid off.
No work whatsoever.
Exactly. Yeah. But I don't know. I think like, I don't know. I think it's like, you can kind of get into dangerous territory, because at least I found myself being like, oh, I'll buy this set for investment. And then you like open it up. And it's like, you're making excuses for yourself because like we're in this hobby that like promotes mass consumerism and doesn't negatively shed a light on it. It's relatively positive. And it's like you're rewarded for like, who's got the best set, the biggest hauls, the biggest, all that stuff. And at least in the short term you are, but it's not, it's been proven that these like mass collection types of hobbies can lead to more harm than good. And I think it's really, really important that we talk about it and that we're like conscious of it, that it's like, oh, I'm doing this Bricklink store. And you said this like right before we started, you're like, oh, I'm doing this Bricklink store. This is it's just fueling the hobby. You know what I mean? It's not like you're not doing it as like an option to like retire. You know what I mean? You're not doing it. Yeah. And like,
if it takes a percentage out of my monthly cost, it's same with the YouTube income. It's not, I'm not going to pay the mortgage off tomorrow. No. But, whatever the check that comes in every month from that, and the little check that comes in from my PayPal every month from the Bricklink, it adds to it. It means that, hey, I might be able to afford that set as well as that set instead of just that set,
Exactly.
But you just mentioned something interesting there. I've been a collector of many things over the years, and I got into the shoe game prior to the Lego.
Oh, man.
So I collected sneakers. And a lot of people collect things for investment, things like shoes and stuff like that, and they'll never wear them. I've never been like that. Like, I'm end of the line for any collection. It comes in my house, it gets opened. I wear the shoes. The set comes in my house. I don't care if it's the original Cloud City. It's going to get opened and it's going to get built. That's just how it works here. I've given up on the whole idea of keeping something pristine on a shelf to potentially sell later on. I could pop my clogs tomorrow, and I don't want to be the richest guy in the graveyard. There's no point, It's like, I may as well open it. Why hold on to it for somebody else to enjoy it?
But then I agree. You're actually truly, truly enjoying it. And it's like, at least for me, like, I remember I found myself like buying a couple sets, and I was buying them for investment. And then I found myself starting to really stress about the hobby. It really took away. And I was like, you know what? Investment sets, doing that's not that. And I understand that that's also a part of the hobby for a lot of people. Like, that fundamentally is the hobby.
I feel like that's like a separate hobby.
It totally is a separate hobby. Like, a lot of those people like spend so much time, in getting investment sets that they're not even building. There's like a couple people like I follow on Instagram and on YouTube. They're at Walmart. They're at these stores buying so much Lego so often that there's no way that they're building it. There's no way. There's like vlogs coming out every single day.
I see you get people showing off, massive pictures of their boxed collections, and you don't see a single set that's been built anywhere around their house, in the background or anything like that. And it's like, hang on, you're a reseller. You're not a collector. You're a reseller.
And it's fine.
You're somebody who's holding on to that for later,
That's a separate hobby. And it's like, Lego is like set up for that. And we can have a completely separate conversation. Is like, are those guys the ones like driving up the cost of Lego? Like, is that like how the basic economics works? Like, I don't know.
I mean, I just have to look at the people in the queue in our Lego store here, because, we get on a release day, you just look at the type of people that are there and the queue coming out with 2 or 3 copies of a set, plus all the gift with purchases, it's the same people every time. They're not collectors, man. All those sets end up on Facebook Marketplace that afternoon, like it's.
We actually, Yeah, I don't see a lot.
We get a lot of that here. That's a problem.
Why do you think we get so much of that there?
I don't know. I think it's because
the supply.
Supply. There's only one Lego store that releases certain things, to the market on that day. We don't have like multiple places. We don't. I mean, you can rely on Lego.com, of course, but if somebody has something in hand and wants to sell that gift with purchase that there was only 200 copies of that afternoon, they're going to make a buck. And there's heaps of people out there to make a buck, like you say.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, but I feel like they're also a necessary evil, just because they do obtain sets that one day someone's going to really want.
Absolutely. So, I've got a guy here who opened up a store called, I won't give you the name, actually, there's no point giving names, but he opened up a store here and he basically just grabbed as much as he could, end of line stuff, anything that was on a discount, and chucked it all in his garage for 5 years or whatever it was. And now he's starting to sell them off at 3, 4, 5 times what they were at retail, and he's making a business out of it. And look, I've never been against anyone doing anything for, to make money, like as long as it's legal, of course, like that. I mean, who am I to say, hey, you can't collect that and hoard it for 5 years and sell it for profit later? Who am I to tell you otherwise? But there's a ton of people out there that really, really don't like it, So,
But like those sets, like they would have ended up in somebody's home.
Absolutely.
Like they don't just sit on the shelves at the Lego store for 5 years waiting for you to buy.
No, you're right.
That's why I know. Trust me, I debate this with myself all the time. Like, what is the right thing? Like, are they actually, like, are they truly scalpers at that point? And I think there's definitely like a nuance with it. It's like buying like a Bricklink designer program thing and then selling that on eBay based on the photo when that set isn't even out yet.
Right.
That's scalping. That's straight up scalping.
Or selling something that's still on the shelves for like double the price.
Well, the other thing as well is that quite often what will happen here is, like I say, people queue up and get the sets in the morning and they'll sell out in the store because our store will only have a supply. So they'll be sold out. And then that afternoon they'll be on your equivalent of your local eBay or marketplace for a markup, and
I feel like that is scalping.
That's straight up scalping.
So there was this one of I'll tell you guys in a second, but actually, sorry, hold on, I have to let the cat out. He's going to keep meowing.
Came a long way from chewing on bricks.
I know, right? The fact that it's still in the room. It's all good,
When we were at Brick Fair, one of the vendors was he was like trying to justify the cost of like a couple things, and like I was like absolutely not. That's like not its value. It's twice as much. It's half that price on Bricklink. And he was like, I'm telling you, I sold one yesterday on Amazon for X, Y, and Z. And then I was about to keep negotiating with him. And then Stan's like, well, Amazon, basically like being like, what idiot buys on Amazon? Like, if you know what you're doing, you don't buy Lego on Amazon. Mm-hmm. But like, anyway, regardless of that ruined negotiation going down the trash, but it made me dislike the guy who I met one of the people that sells the Lego sets on Amazon for 3-4 times the price for those suckers.
Whoa.
I
don't know. Like, what do you guys? I mean, it feels anti-capitalist to like.
Well, I mean, it's the same thing. It's just like with Lego, how they price point their stuff. Like they price it out, and if you buy it, they're going to keep doing it. It's the same thing with any other product that's out there, even if it's secondhand. If it's someone buys it at 3 times the price, well, if someone's buying it, then I'm gonna keep selling at that price point.
I feel like, don't they have that info on eBay and stuff, so you can look up like how much this item sold for and stuff like that?
Yeah,
how much people list it for.
I don't think you do that on Amazon. It also shows you other price points for the thing. But then you also go to, like, if you're an experienced eBay buyer, then you look at other things they sell, how many times they've sold. You look at comments. So would I risk spending an extra $50? Or would I risk spending $100 less for a store that only has one review? You know what I mean? It's like, or maybe has like 3 bad reviews, but it's $100 cheaper. So like, there could be other factors in that, as opposed to like, like some people have earned the right to be able to sell something at a higher price point.
I always think about that too, because that like makes it harder though if you're just starting out. Like if it's your first sell and there's like, I don't trust this. She's like,
I mean,
come on, man.
yeah, that's true. So have you? Speaking of which, yeah. So Rich, starting out, right? Did you have to price your things a little lower for people to trust you as a Bricklink seller?
That's good.
Because now you're competing prices with no feedback.
No, I went in straight in there with brick because you can set the prices. Like you get the option to set it as a Bricklink average, or you can set it. So that's what I set everything as average, because I think Bricklink is different to eBay and Trade Me, because people could buy from your store just by the way it's you've done that auto buy or that easy buy or whatever it is, and it's just selected in my store because I have the pieces or something like that. That I think there's a little bit more trust that in Bricklink in that regard.
Sure.
If I was selling the same thing on eBay with zero feedback, I guarantee I'd probably less likely to get the sale, if that makes sense. If it was on par. So I think Bricklink's kind of cool like that. I mean, there's no point really marketing your Bricklink store in a huge way neither, because a lot of the stuff is auto selected, from whatever people are trying to buy, or especially down this way anyway.
I also feel like it's so not user friendly that it's for someone who just wants to rip people off. It's just too much work.
Yeah, right. You gotta make an account, do all the good stuff. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people shop by who's got the pieces rather than
who's got it, what else they have in the store.
Yeah, a lot of people don't you don't want to make 8 orders. You know what I mean?
No,
it's
I haven't checked that many people's feedback when making purchases myself. I must admit, it's just if I'm buying through Bricklink, it feels like its own store. You know what I mean? Like you are putting your trust in, of course, these people with their stores, but I don't know. I guess it's
like an underground market, basically. You're like, I know I trust you because we're doing the same thing. So
we're doing that. Yeah, well, I suppose that could be it too.
Yeah.
I feel because I'm in the scene, I guess. Huh?
No, I was gonna say, to sell, you've had to have bought before.
Yeah,
I know that's one of the requirements.
Yes. And you can only accept PayPal payments up to, I guess you've got to be in it for 3 months before you can accept direct bank transfers or direct payments. You got to go through PayPal. So there is that bit of security to see how you're going, in the first few months. But I feel like a real what's the word for it? A pressure or whatever it is, because I'm part of the scene, because I've made a name, so to speak, if you like, with my YouTube channel down here. We're a very small community here, if all of a sudden the dude who's running the YouTube channel, that sort of, people on the Facebook groups, etc., know he's got a Bricklink store and he's ripping people off, that kind of thing would get around pretty quick down here.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So, it would go like wildfire. You'd be ruined overnight, it really would.
So that's a nice benefit.
That's kind of cool. Yeah, I mean, it's, and we had Dan from Between the Bricks also on here, and kind of he definitely described the New Zealand Lego community as this very tight knit kind of everybody knows everybody.
Everyone knows everyone. So
yeah,
everyone knows when if someone new pops up, it's like, oh, there's a new guy in the scene type thing, or things like that. It's that small, and that but in saying that, like Dan was saying, because obviously I checked that episode out. It's a vibrant community. There's lots of shows. There's lots of little conventions that happen, and there's tons of lugs. It happens down here. It happens.
Yeah, it's you guys. It's sleepy, but it's an active sleepy. Yeah,
it is. It's funny. Yeah, it really is, because and you will go to the shows and you'll see the same people every time. But everyone knows what everyone's doing. Everyone knows what people have got. Everyone knows what everyone's into.
Remember those days when that wasn't possible?
Yeah,
before MySpace and before Friendster.
Before MySpace,
right. Remember when you had to memorize phone numbers?
Yeah, man,
and write it down.
Dude,
I don't know one phone number these days, man.
Yeah, I still remember my dad's. The only numbers I know by heart are my own number, my house number that I grew up in, and my dad's cell phone number, and then a couple of my friends' parents' house numbers. That's it.
What the hell?
No, I call my friends all the time.
Well, that's right, because cell phones weren't a thing yet.
Yeah.
Children didn't have
muscle
phones.
memory on the phone, isn't it? I know the way the number goes.
Oh yeah, right. How to type?
Oh man, typing.
Pressing the thing 3 times to get to the last letter,
and then you miss it, and you have to go again.
Or when you do codes, like I love you 143, that type of stuff.
Oh yeah, I have a long one. I'm not gonna bring it up. I'll pass that.
Oh come on, man! Everyone did the hello.
I was always impressed with those dudes that could, or whoever, could type so quick, writing up text messages when you had to press buttons 3 times to get the.
And it's always perfect. It was like, how did you do that in like 20 seconds?
That, man?
Yeah. And now I can barely even.
I still can't. I got all the buttons.
Send a text message. That's what I'm like these days. She is going to do
it. Exactly. Wow. Speech to text.
Do you guys think Lego would be where it is? No, I wouldn't answer my own question. Because it's it takes away half the fun when we know everything about each other. So for you guys who are literally a small town type of atmosphere where everybody's business, everybody's collection, there's no rush to be the first one out, or maybe is there a feeling where if you don't buy it, you feel left out because everybody talk about it type of deal?
I guess you worry about stock supplies, if anything, down this way. Stuff comes on the boat down here. There's only ever so much of it.
Stuff quickly.
We were for example, all the September stuff has only literally come into the country in the last couple of days. There's been major delays getting all the new stuff in. So everyone rushes out, gets their hands on it. Next thing you know, it's all sold out everywhere. For example, that 501st Battle Pack, that when that was released, it got sold out and it never got restocked down here at all, ever.
So weird.
It's whack, man. It's so whack. So that whole rush that everyone went out and rushed to get it, that was it. That was it.
Did you get one?
Worse.
Yeah, I got one.
Yeah,
I got one.
You have one.
Now I feel bad because I have
No, I mean the thing. I put an order in with my guy because I've got a local toy store here that I get everything through. I pretty much get everything through this one guy, unless I need to get something on release date. I'll go to the Lego store. But they told me, the SKU number's been deleted for us down here, and I was like, really? I said, that sounds like that's the end of it. And this was December last year. So I was like, wow, it's gone. I'm seeing photos of you guys going into bloody doing vlog things and going into stores and seeing stacks of them on the shelf.
We don't need this. I got this already. New stuff. Now I feel
that sort of set a precedent down here is that people sort of, some people are a bit tetchy. Is like, heck, if we don't get this now, are we not going to get it again later because of some... and that was the strangest one for them to take off the shelf so quickly as well. I could imagine.
That's so weird. Was that the only time? Was just with that?
It's happened with a couple of sets over time, but that was the big one that everyone sort of noticed.
Yeah, that was
and everyone was saying it was the best-selling set and things like that.
But, that's crazy. That doesn't make sense.
Has it always been like that before the pandemic? No, that's I don't know if that caused it, but it was that one set. It was just one set. It wasn't even like a wave or anything like that. It was one set. So that maybe I don't know if stock got sent somewhere else because they didn't feel that we were important, or I don't know.
Cold-blooded.
Maybe
absolutely
right. Because you have to ship everything there, right? For the most part. Well, they ship it to US too.
There's just probably a lot of people who just don't like Ryan, and they're just
No. Rip has decided, you know what? I hate Ryan. We're not going to get any more of these. And
exactly.
This set, we don't need any more of that. That's enough of that.
I'm making an executive decision.
We don't need this kind of negative energy.
Wow. Yeah. But it's one of those things now. I wish I bought tons of them for the Bricklink store because heck, man, selling 501st Troopers now would make me a
right. That's just crazy because you can't expect them to take that. I don't know. It's just like
can you still order them online at least? I think you might still be able to get them on Lego.com, to be honest. But that all comes from Australia. That all gets shipped straight out of Australia to here. We don't have anything local. So you can only get 3 at a time. Probably, yeah. I don't know if they've got. Yeah, exactly. They might have numbers. No army building for you. Nope. That's not fair. Nope. Anyone who has got an army of those here, it's probably worth 10 times more than anyone else's army in the world because of the geographical location of said army.
Yeah, if anyone wanted to buy tons of 501st and just like stack them up and then take them on a trip to New Zealand. You could probably sell them.
You can sell them on the street corners
Yeah,
down here.
if you're already going to New Zealand, not if you.
That doesn't sound like
Yeah,
a
I
bad
wouldn't do
idea.
it. I
You pay
wouldn't
for your
just
trip.
buy the ticket.
Yeah, that could pay for your round trip and stay.
That's true. Actually.
Dang.
You know, just bring like 20.
But even
more
things
out
like what was I looking at the other day? The Brick Bank, because I've just managed to acquire that
Oh,
again
that
after
one
selling
is
it off.
I mean, that's hard to get
Like,
here now.
Mate, I tell you, if I had sat on a couple of those back in the, I probably could have paid my mortgage off by now. You know, like it's those things have gone up in price, mental, absolutely
That's
mental.
It's what happens
Same-
when you have a set mentioning another set. No one cared about the Brick Bank until the police station.
True.
Yeah, but also I think like so many new adults came into the hobby during COVID, and adults love the modulars, and it just
And there's completionists out there.
a lot of them. Us included. Hi.
That guy.
I'm not gonna get the Market Street though. Still not gonna get the Market Street.
I think I might have told you. Did I tell you about my luck getting Market Street?
I think
I
you
know.
mentioned it.
This is a good
Yeah.
one. You should still say it again though.
Yeah.
No, it's some mum from from my boys' school just said to me, you know, I've got some Lego that the kids don't play with anymore. Are you interested?
What?
So I wasn't expecting much. She said it was some buildings, and it turned out to be
You
pet
probably
shop.
thought it was like some kitty.
Oh, I
city
thought it was.
or
I thought it was going to be
something.
some like old, some
Yeah.
Creative 3-in-1s or something like that. But it turned out to be the Grand Emporium,
You're like,
Greengrocer,
what
Market
the-
Street, and the
Green
pet shop.
Grocer too. Like,
Yeah,
oh my
man,
gosh.
Greengrocer. I've actually
got
got
it
a
all for, like,
Greengrocer down
nothing.
here at
What
the
a
moment.
steal.
Sorting it out. Yeah,
Oh my
and
god.
they're all missing a couple of pieces. Don't get me
Of
wrong.
course.
But
Yeah, hey, but it's still the majority of the set.
none of the major pieces.
Yeah,
I
cheaper
feel like
to just
I have
buy.
Green Grocer and Cafe Corner. I don't appreciate them as much as I do the newer sets. Like my favorite one's Assembly Square. Like I appreciate that one way
Oh,
more.
Assembly
I
Square is
love that
definitely
one
the
way
best.
more than I do Green Grocer or Cafe Corner. Both of
But
those.
you'd
although
appreciate
iconic.
the Greengrocer and Cafe Corner if you didn't have them. You know,
That
you'd
is
be
true.
like,
Good point.
I really appreciate having that right now.
That's why I'm not gonna do it. Not yet.
No much.
Not yet. It's only getting
Well, I
worse
gave all
as the
mine
years
up.
progress, Ninja.
I mean,
I had
once
a
it
whole
gets
bunch
worse,
of modulars and I got rid of them. I
Don't
decided I
don't.
didn't want them and sold them all off and bought the Falcon. I think it was at the time, and then decided that I was going to start building a city. So I ended up having to buy them all back again.
oh
So,
man,
that was a lesson learned.
Modulars, at least. Yes. That's like something you don't part with easily.
No,
But
not
the,
anymore.
but the fact that you can do that, though, you gotta admit, is actually pretty cool. That you
Well,
can sell a
coming back
set.
to the whole Bricklink thing, you got to remember that when you talk about Bricklink averages and stuff like that, we've got to factor in down here as well shipping too, because there's probably not a lot of these sets on the ground down here. So if you want to talk to somebody about Bricklink averages, you tend to add a little bit on because it'll probably cost you an extra 20% to get it sent down here if there's none in the country, for example, you know.
Oh,
So
okay.
the Bricklink average type thing down here works a little bit different. You were just mentioning it before, Claire, and I was like, well, actually, you know, we add on a bit to it because of stock that's in the country, you know.
No, that makes sense. That's good. That's smart.
Well,
You're trying to get a Cafe Corner now. Take Bricklink average and add a bit, you know, like it's
Wow, the Lego economy just doesn't help you guys, does it?
no.
It's like a dog
It
dog world out
seems
there.
like, yeah, it seems like North America and Europe are the best.
Mm.
You know, if Lego, and that's only because Lego is in Denmark that Europe is part of that. Do you know what I mean? In terms of like access to parts. But like if Lego was in the US, it would like, there's no way they would have access the way that we do.
That is true.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with that. Especially last time. But
We do have one bonus down here though. If a set's getting released worldwide on a certain date, then we get the jump on people, if you like. You know, we can.
You do
And
get
that's something that, like, as someone who's making YouTube content, it has helped me a couple of times.
Mhm.
You know, to get something, bring it home, make a video, and get something up before the rest of the world's even woken up. You know, so
nice.
I've managed to do that a couple of times.
Has the fandom in New Zealand increased significantly since COVID?
Yes, I'd say so.
Okay.
Probably, I'll tell you what, probably really started to make it take off was even prior to COVID when we started getting the Lego Masters. You know, we had that
Yeah.
Australian Lego Masters
Yeah.
show here. That
Yeah.
seemed to really pick up, you know, a lot of interest seemed to come off the back of that.
So what I was leaning towards with that is that maybe if there's just more of a demand and outcry for it, that Lego might or may open not only one store, but to get more partner stores, just to be able to flood more.
Well, that's what we've
inventory.
got. It's a partner store, is the one that
partner
we've
store,
got.
yeah.
Luckily, it's in my city, so
Yeah,
that's
nice.
awesome for me. But yeah, I could see them doing others in other cities in New Zealand as well before too long.
Yeah, so that way, at least, I mean, although Lego can supply your country, it's just not like, is it worth their time at the moment? It kind of hurts.
But we've
you guys.
got our local retailers. We've got tons of local retailers that stock stuff. It's just that they don't get the stuff straight away. It's usually like a month or two after.
You get the hand-me-downs from Australia?
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's probably sitting on a boat that entire time. But for example, like the Adidas shoes only come into like your regular retailers here at the beginning of September, whereas it was at Lego shop and the store in town here and the CBD here a couple of months ago when it was released. So it's. I tend to wait because I can get discounts from the local stores. So.
Oh, okay. That makes it worth the wait. Yeah.
Cool. That gives you a sense of control without having to try.
Absolutely, and it gives you time to get over stuff as well.
Yes,
you get
Yeah,
past
that's
the
true.
hype, man. And if you're waiting for your retailer to get it, you can 2 months later you might go, you know what, I didn't actually need that set anymore. Things like the space shuttle, for example. When that first came out, I was like, I'm getting that. I'm so getting it. 2 months later, all this other stuff's been announced. I'm like, forget this bloody space shuttle, man.
Space shuttle.
I've got better stuff to spend my money on now.
I know.
Exactly. I've been that mentality is in my head right now.
That's how I felt.
Buffer. It's a good buffer, man.
Definitely. That's how I felt with the Adidas shoe. Because when it first came out, I was like, yeah, day one, I'm getting it for sure.
I still haven't
And
built
then
mine.
time kept going by and I kept seeing it and I was like, you know what? I don't even really like the way it looks. I just wanted the promo.
Bro, I've been saying I hate the Adidas shoe this entire time. I've been saying because I'm coming from the sneaker game, that technically I should love this. It's a cross between my two of my loves.
Hey,
but I've said that I've hated it this entire time, but then
there it is.
There it is.
There it is. You're gonna cave in.
I'm sure I'll have it too. Watch.
You're gonna cave in eventually.
Well, that was because none of the September stuff had come in, none of the new stuff, and I was just like, I'm gonna get something, man. So grab that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Have you built it yet?
No. I don't know.
See, I think the best thing is the box. The box is super fresh.
The box is so cool. That's one of those you gotta keep the box on that one. And I love to get rid of my boxes.
Right, that one. Hey, you could use that though. Like, I don't know about you guys. I keep shoe boxes and put like stuff in them.
I do.
I have like photos and like memorabilia and like some old shoe boxes.
Yeah. See, you have a Lego Adidas one.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know if I'm ever gonna open that at this point.
You have the set?
I have it. It just sits here amongst many other sets.
The box does look cool on its own, though, man.
Yeah, the box looks cool. I mean, it just looks cool.
I don't want to be put off. Actually, after building the set, I want to go like, I actually really hate it now. Like, I'm happy with the box, man, and the little one. The little one's cool,
That's the best.
The little's cool. I got 2 of those.
Yeah.
I can probably turn.
I've seen people putting them on like Grogu on stuff like that. Putting on brick built characters. They look really cool, man. Using them as feet for the brick built.
I really just wanted the minifigure.
Yeah, the minifigure, right?
And I was a sticker, but still, I mean, it's either way. It's cool.
There's someone on Instagram. I just want a little quick shout out to Let Them Fly on Instagram. He did like so many different versions of those little Adidas shoes. He put them on Mickey Mouse. He put them on Iron Man. Put them on Batman. It was fresh.
Nice.
But I don't know.
But yeah,
I'm out of space. But I don't know what you guys are saying as I left to open the door for my son. I to follow my thought on that, I do like not buying things right away now because it does give me some time to
think about things.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's also like really exciting when you do, but it makes like when you do buy something right away, it makes it even more exciting. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like it's almost like even a bigger deal. Like 100%. I don't know why. It's just like when you eat out all the time versus like
yeah.
I know it's
it takes.
Yeah, no, I can see that same exact sensation.
Right?
That type of dopamine.
Takes the magic away.
You gotta get. That's one thing about this whole collecting thing is getting over that whole FOMO thing, though. It can get you in so much trouble,
especially this year.
There's so many collectors that just come into the game and buy as much as they can, you know, and you're like, oh, you poor guy, you've just spent so much money that you probably wouldn't do in a year's time when you've calmed down a bit, you know, like.
And you've overwhelmed yourself too.
Yeah. And you realize that, hey, buying everything was not the best idea, you know. Be very selective. The amount of themes that I've culled over the 2 years that I've been collecting is, you know, trying to calm it down.
Nice.
Oh, I mean, just on your shelves alone, you have Star Wars. You have some, you know, Harry Potter right there.
Yeah, Wally too.
Wally, yeah.
Ghostbusters.
Ninjago.
Is that Ninjago or is that Monkey Kid?
Monkey Kid.
I got Ninjago down there. I got the boat.
Oh yeah, down there.
Stranger Things. I'm sort of like I'll collect most Star Wars stuff, but I've stopped the whole small scene sets, if that makes sense.
Okay.
You know, like that Mandalorian throne. Why would I buy that for one minifig, you know, in a few pieces? So I get the big sets, I get the big sort of scene stuff, but yeah, I'm just sort of trying to calm it down a bit, you know. Same with things like X-Wings and TIE fighters. I don't need every X-Wing and every TIE fighter.
You don't need every single one of those.
But you do have the Bricklink store, so if you do see a set like that you like the figs, you could just grab it, get the figs.
Well, that's what I'm probably going to do with a couple of these newer ones, like that Boba Fett Starship. Is like I wouldn't mind that new Boba Fett minifig. So I'll grab the entire thing and then chuck the rest of it in the Bricklink store.
And that makes the Bricklink kind of pretty fresh, I think, because you don't have to have all the stuff you don't want. You just sell it. So.
Yeah, it's just like a medium to sell out that extra.
And if you want to talk about the whole tax side of it as well, you know, like I already get a discount, and then I get the tax back on it. It makes it worthwhile, you know. So, you know,
that's smart.
That's the whole Bricklink side of things. It's a tangible business, man. You know, like it's not just making YouTube videos, which a lot of people could see as a hobby, regardless of whether you're making coin out of it. If you're actually selling a product and actually having to buy a product and stock a shop, then that's, you know, there's something there. You know, like it's.
I would just like,
but also, you know, with the whole Bricklink and YouTube thing is I cross, you know, I can cross market it if you like. So in every YouTube video, I can put a link to my Bricklink store. Then all of a sudden, my YouTube videos become advertising for my Bricklink store.
Genius.
You know, that's a hustle. Yeah, for sure.
You know?
I need to take notes. Let me get a pad real quick.
I'll text you, man. I'll text you.
There we go.
But that was what sort of got me thinking about the whole Bricklink side of things, was that, hey, if I'm clever about this, is that I can run it as a business, you know, use some of these sets if I want to make videos, and I could chuck them into the Bricklink store, you know? And then I'm double dipping as far as making money out of it to a certain degree.
I mean, you benefit regardless.
Exactly.
You benefit regardless. No matter what, like how you look at it, you benefit. I don't see no like downfall for any of that.
Right. I think the most important thing is, just like you said, you just got to be mindful of everything. You can't just go crazy like, I'm gonna build all this stuff.
No, and like I was saying earlier, that everything that's in my store, I already have a copy of, or it might be something that I just simply have no interest in owning myself. But there's no way I could buy a bunch of sets that I'm planning on buying for myself one day, because I'd straight away be not one of those.
I would have such a hard time.
See, the other thing as well is I don't do mocks. And that is a concern for me. If I got into mocking, that I would be out there dipping my fingers in all the drawers every day. So
that's true. Yeah,
I'm very, very aware of that side of things.
Is that the reason why you're not going to start mocking?
Nope. So the most I'll be buying is dark blue gray tiles to do my streets for my city. That's it, man. That's it. You know.
Okay.
So,
But I mean, eventually in your city, you're going to be doing some things.
Oh, maybe we'll cross that bridge. That's like what you said. That's for later Rich to worry about.
Exactly. Future Rich problem.
Future Rich has got that problem, not current.
Future Rich will come back on Cali Brick Clique and be like,
I'm ruined.
I messed up.
I messed up all my supply, and I got high.
And here's, at the end of the day as well, is let's say I want to decide to finish up the Bricklink store tomorrow. It's not like I've got a whole bunch of. Look, if I was selling toilet rolls, it would be the worst thing, having a whole stock of toilet rolls out there that I'm trying to move on. No, it's Lego. It can just be chucked in the bin and it can be used later, you know? So if I did want to wrap up the business.
Some people started their toilet roll companies, you know, through COVID.
That's true,
did.
actually, man.
You know what I'm saying? You
Toilet
gotta
Yeah, you
know.
gotta give it to them on that one, man. That hustle in the beginning with those toilet paper rolls. Oh,
There was some real hustle on the
I don't
beginning.
know how many.
I'm gonna need all this toilet paper.
Dude, there are these kids out here. I forgot what state they were in. They got in trouble for hoarding all the toilet paper and baby wipes and all that kind of stuff and selling
Yeah.
them on eBay for a excruciating amount of money.
Oh, the best was the guys here that tried to return them. They bought in bulk, and then they decided it wasn't going to be. So they tried to return them and get their money back at the store. And the manager was like,
like,
nope.
nah.
Nah, you're stuck with toilet paper for life. All right. Well, I guess I'll just wrap it up here. So yeah, Rich, thank you for coming on here and explaining why you love doing a little Bricklink thing. I
Yeah.
hope it continues to thrive, and I don't know if you want to get any bigger because it looks like you have a good
I'm going to
balance.
grow
of
it
what's
a bit,
going on.
but I
Yeah.
love it the way it is, man. It's just
Yeah.
a nice casual thing on the
Mhm.
side, man. You know?
Yeah, I that's what I feel from how you're explaining your movement around it is that you like it being kind of easy pace going, so that way you can manage not only your time but like your love for the hobby as well.
Mhm.
So you don't want to start hating it, man. You don't want to
Exactly.
start hating it.
No.
When it starts feeling like a job, that's when it's like, okay, you need to relax a little bit.
I
Yeah.
already got a job. I got kids. I got a job. You know,
You got kids.
I don't need extra stresses.
No.
You know how it is, man.
Ezra's playing with my Black Falcon army right now.
Oh no. No, I
Dang.
thought
I
that
don't
was
mind.
off limits.
And I
Ezra's
can't say
flexing.
no.
Because just broke.
Oh, I don't know if you just heard that. I think I just broke something. I'm like,
Oh man.
he's playing with the castle.
But
You
you
can't
want to
break
redo that
Lego.
castle anyway.
Oh yeah, I want to rebuild the castle anyways, but
You
know,
need
I
this
just finished the
castle.
last-
Though.
Wait, what?
Uh oh.
Is it-
Have you got this one?
Is that
Oh my
the
God, you
original
love
Black
it.
Falcon one?
The
No,
OG one.
Whipping that
Yeah.
one out.
Dang.
Sorry, bruv.
Flex.
It's such a
Well, you know
flex.
what? That goes for about a decent, affordable price here in eBay in the States.
An affordable price?
Mhm.
Does it? How much
Yeah,
does it go?
used it goes anywhere between 90 to 120.
That's not
Brand
bad.
new, 200 to 300.
Okay.
That's
But you got to look
really-
at like what it is though. There's like nothing in there. Right? How many
No.
pieces is that?
There's not
Like,
much to it, eh? There's not a heck
Yeah,
of
the
a lot
older
to it.
castles are you could build them easily. I mean, the only thing you're missing are those like little corners. But like
It's like
figs,
4
that's what you're paying
pieces.
for? Yeah.
Didn't they
not
have like
really.
big, like chunky pieces for those castles?
Yeah, they do. Plus the gray is a different color. But I've been looking and eyeing those, but that's a nice pristine box,
Yeah.
know, from when, you have all those people buying all those nice boxes and hoarding them till like 10 years from now. Full
I'm surprised
circle.
It's lasted 35 years, you know? Like it's
So you opened it?
it's open, yeah. It's been open.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, but the box is still pristine though. See? It's still-
Ah,
has all its plastic and everything.
I hate you right now.
It's his original one from when he was a kid.
I
I
know.
was 7 years old, man. It was my 7th birthday present.
Damn, you kept it clean that long.
Wait, that is your actual.
That's my
Set?
set, man.
Oh,
The
that's
only
fresh.
one I
Oh,
have.
missed
The
that.
only one I have.
I need to
Okay.
get one of those. I never had that set, so I don't have a draw to actually get it. But I there's only one more castle I need to get to fulfill that, and that's the Black Knights castle.
Mhm.
That's the one.
Nice.
The one before. That's the faction, right? Black Knights.
I
Yeah,
think it was, yeah.
yeah. It's the one after Dragon. It's the one before Dragon Knights.
Is that the one that had the raised base plate?
Yes, the
Yeah.
start of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Daddy, I got to
It has like it has
Right.
both Crusaders and the Black Knights in there. It's not just them.
Nice.
So I need to pick that up, and then I'll be content. I don't have to collect anymore Knights.
yeah.
aside from my army.
Dang. Hit him with that last minute flex. That was.
Yeah, well, it's my 150 130 just left Denmark today, so waiting on that,
Whoa.
and 30 should arrive within the next couple days.
Mm.
And then I have a friend out in San Diego who bought 300 of them and realized he doesn't need 300 of them.
Did you figure out like where you're gonna put it all?
How many are you going for?
501.
He doesn't even know where they're going though yet, which is
Oh, yeah, it's gonna be on one of these shelves.
okay.
It's gonna be on one of these shelves. I'm
One of them.
gonna case them out so they'll have a nice little like pose stance.
Mm.
Yeah, 501. Homage to the 501st. So
Nice.
that'll be. It's a pretty penny to get that many Black Knights,
Oh,
even
I'm
though they're
sure, man.
way cheaper than buying off Bricklink. It's still to put all that stuff on them, not just the figures, but the armor, the weapons, and all that kind of stuff. It's just like it becomes
A G.
yeah, way more than that.
But surely it's cheaper now than it would have been, say, 2 years ago when.
Of course, and it would have
only getting them from the old
year ago.
sets,
No,
Yeah.
it's like $5 a minifig. That's what I'm looking at.
It's like a CMF.
That's pricey, man.
Yeah, like a CMF.
That's not too
It's cheaper than the 501st. That's for sure.
It's five.
Especially down here.
$5 a minute.
Yeah, in the end of it, it comes to about like $5 a fig because the shields themselves, Bricks and Pieces sells them for $1 just for the shields, whereas the torso are like 30 cents a piece, and the legs 30 cents a piece.
It's not too crazy.
It's not too crazy, but if you look at Bricklink, these
up.
figures are selling for like $10 for just a figure, without the helmet or anything like that. So
So
it's
you
like,
just
Are you?
found a way around that?
Yeah, are you gonna resell these one day? Are these okay?
I just like having a large army of stuff. I used to play like toy soldiers a lot as a kid, so
Yeah, so
it's just fulfilling that. It's
There you
filling
go.
that up, like having
Yeah.
like a massive army of things, just like all the clone army builders. It's just the same thing, but with a
That's
castle.
different too, man. It's different. It's not yet another clone army. It's
Yeah.
it's different. I'm liking it. I know you got your clone army.
Yeah, like clone army. I literally just put it in a case and I've never touched it ever since.
Is that right?
It's just cool to look at. It's cool to look at. And that's pretty much it. Especially when they're like, when someone comes over, like, why do you have so many of that same thing? Like, you don't get it.
Yeah.
Don't you have like
because, man? Just because.
right? Don't you have like a Brickmania battalion and stuff also?
Oh, that's just if I put everything together, but they're all different. They're not like the same unit or anything like that.
Oh, I see.
It's
Okay.
not a cohesive thing. Like everyone comes from like one thing, like the 501st.
just- It was just everything you had put
It's just
together,
everything
basically.
I had put together. Yeah,
Ah.
just put it all together. I probably have
Still
a bigger one
fresh.
now. I'm not thinking about it. Anyways, we drag this one on. All right, so hey, Richard, thank you for joining us. Anyone else have anything to say before we split and roll that music?
Be easy.
Be easy. We're leaving it. Peace. All right. Thanks, dude.
No, thank you.
Having no structure for an episode. I love
All right,
it.
no,
It still
man.
works.
I appreciate you having me.
This is a good
Still
one.
work. Yeah,
feel like I
thanks
learned a
for
lot.
thanks for coming on.